Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to begin our service today by taking this opportunity to welcome each and every one of you on behalf of Emily's family to this tribute to her life today. I know it will be a great source of comfort to them to see how many people have turned out, to see how well thought of that she was. So thank you for that. My name is John Irons, and I've been asked by the family to lead this tribute to Emily today. Many of you would have had the chance to relive some memories there while the Corries were singing, looking at some of the photographs throughout her life, or taken throughout her life. I'm sure for many of you it stirred a few emotions. They'll continue to play throughout the service today. But before we look back on her life, I'd like to begin with a short poem. Don't cry for me now I have died, for I'm still here and by your side. My body's gone, but my presence is still here, so please don't shed another tear. I'm the snowflake that kisses your nose. I'm the frost that nips your toes. I'm the sun that brings you light. I'm the star that shines so bright. I'm the rain refreshing the earth, I'm the laughter and I'm the mirth. I'm the bird up in the sky, and I'm the cloud that's drifting by. I'm the thoughts inside your head, and while I'm still there, I can't be dead. To the living I am gone, to the sorrowful I will never return, but to the happy I'm at peace. I cannot speak, but I can listen. I cannot be seen, but I can be heard. So as you stand upon a shore gazing at a beautiful sea, or look upon a flower and admire its simplicity, remember me. Remember me in your heart, your thoughts, and your memories of the times we loved, the times we cried, the times we fought, the times we laughed. For if you always think of me, I will never have gone. So let's have a wee look back on Emily's life and see more about the person that she was and the life that she lived. She was born on the 4th of December 1932, as you can see from your order of service today. She was born in Cambuslang. Her dad was a miner, so the family moved to Cardown so that he could get work. She had a big sister Nan, big brother George, and the younger siblings were Margaret, William and John. She went to school in Steps and then to high school in Christon. She left school at 15, as many people of her generation did, and she went to work at Telfors on Miller Street in Glasgow in the accounts office. She actually ended up with a senior position in that office. But she was to meet her beloved Bill at a friend's wedding in 1954, and they started going out. They married in Whitehall Parish Church in Steps, and that was back in 1956. Diane came along in 59, Joyce in 1960, and then the Wayne, Audrey, came along in 1966. But the story's told that up until she got married, Emily had shared a bedroom with her wee sister Margaret. And when she moved out the house, Margaret was terrified of sleeping in the room by herself. So her mum had to come in and sleep beside her. I won't tell you she was 19 at the time. No, I'm only kidding. So their first house was in High Street, but then they moved on from there. Emily didn't really know anybody in Airdrie, so she became very close to her sisters-in-law. As a young family, they would love to go up north on holiday to places like Skye, Orkney and Jura, which they fell in love with and returned to often. And as well as taking their own family, they would always take one or two of the kids' pals with them. And although it was off-grid, they just absolutely loved being there. And they made great friends up there, so much so that they were never treated as holidaymakers or tourists. They were treated just as one of the gang. Bill loved to go fishing. So, once the family were all up, when he would go fishing, Emily decided to join a Ramblers Club. And they would go away somewhere every single Saturday. In fact, I can tell you another story about that. They did a bit of hill climbing as well. And for her 65th birthday, she celebrated on a Munro with her rambling pals and even brought a cake. That's how organised she was. As well as rambling though, she loved to dance. And any time they were at a wedding, she'd be the first on the dance floor after the bride and groom. But not with Bill, because he wasn't a dancer, so she had to choose somebody else to get up with. And those of you who knew her would know that she didn't drink, because she said, I don't need drink to have a good time. And she always did have a good time. And the one message that came across to me last week when I was talking with the family was that she had a zest for life, that she embraced life fully and lived life fully. And that's a wonderful tribute to be able to make to somebody, to say that they embraced life fully. But central to everything for her was always family. Usually centred around the kitchen, usually in the kitchen centred around a big pot of soup. That became the hub of family life. And as well as her own children, she was then delighted as one by one her grandchildren entered her life. Christopher, Stephen, Debbie, Lindsay, Craig, Mark, David, Stacey, Emily and Alex. She loved them all. And if that was special to her, then as great-grandchildren started to appear, that just opened up a whole new avenue of love for her. Connor, Ellie, Ethan, Jamie, Declan, Layla, Omari, Leon, Alice, Kalela, Emily Rose and Evie. That's a big Christmas present, Bill, when you think of it. But family was what made her tick. And that was spread out to wider family, to nieces and nephews, and even to her sons-in-law, Andy and Matt. They were all family to her, and they were all treated in the same way. Tell you a wee story. When Kalela started nursery, one of the staff asked her who her best pal was, and she simply answered, my gran. And she didn't mean her actual gran, she meant Emily. She said, I'm 3 and my best friend's 90. And they were the best of pals. She had simple pleasures in life as well. Like she loved to get her hair done every Friday because it gave her the chance to meet some of her pals. And pals were important to her as well. It was Betty and George who had been great neighbours and became very, very good friends. But there were so many other pals that made her life complete throughout life. As well as her rambling, she would go swimming. She always wanted to keep herself fit and young so that she could spend better time with those closest to her. The family said she was really just somebody who lived for the family. And although she brought her own 3 up very strictly, she was as soft as putty when it came to grandchildren and great-grandchildren. They could do no wrong. Every one of you in here today will have your own memories of Emily, have your own stories to tell. Every one of you will be able to recount some encounter you had with her in life, something that she said, maybe advice that she gave you. And all of those stories helped to make up the whole person that she was. Obviously, a much-loved person, but to be a much-loved person, you have to be a person that gives out much love as well. And that's what we're here to celebrate today. And that's why, while this service and the service in the crematorium are both very important, it's just as important later on today when you gather in the Tudor Hotel to take the opportunity for everyone to tell their stories. And there may well be stories in there that those closest to Emily have never heard, and they would want to hear them. They would want to hear of how other people had encountered their mum. So please, if you've got time, join the family back at the Tudor and tell your stories today. Meanwhile, here, we have to deal with our own sense of loss and our own grief. But to find comfort in that grief, we have to remind ourselves that we only grieve so much because we have loved so much. And not everybody in life gets the opportunity to be loved in the way that each of you were by Emily. Not everybody in life gets a chance to have that closeness and that relationship. So there's much to find comfort in and much to be thankful for today. I said at the beginning she lived a very full life, she embraced life. And that's something else that's of great tribute to her. Just the very photograph on the front of your order of service today just radiates somebody who's full of life. It's an absolutely beautiful picture. I noticed it as soon as I came in today and thought, well, there you go. That sums up the person that I'm talking about today. Picture perfect. So, find comfort in your grief by thinking back on all those memories and all that love. Even if some of these jog a few of those memories, that's where you'll find your comfort today. She lived a long life, she lived a happy life, she lived a good life, and she lived a life full of love. And for all that today, we are truly thankful. We're now going to sing our hymn together, so could I ask if you're able that you please stand. Consider all the work thy hand has made. I see the stars, I hear the rolling thunder, thy birth throughout the universe displayed. Then sings my soul, my Saviour God to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Saviour God to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. And when I think sent him to die, I scarce can take it in, that on the cross my burden gladly bearing, he bled and died to take away my sin. Then sings my soul, my Saviour God to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Saviour God to thee. How great thou art, how great when Christ shall come, with shouts of acclamation, and take me home, what joy shall fill my heart, when I shall bow in humble adoration, and then proclaim, my God, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Saviour God to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Saviour God to thee. How great thou art, You meant so much to all of us. You were special, and that's no lie. You brightened up the darkest day and the cloudiest sky. Your smile alone warmed hearts, and your laugh was like music to hear. And we would give absolutely anything to have you well and standing near. Not a second passes when you're not in our minds. Your love we will never forget, while the hurt may ease in time. Many tears we have seen and cried, and they have all poured out like rain. But we know that you're happy now, and no longer in any pain. Once again, on behalf of Emily's family, could I thank you for your presence here today and invite you to join us for the next part of our service at Hollytown Crematorium service, which begins at 2:30. And thereafter, once again, extend that welcome to you to join the family at the Tudor Hotel once the crematorium service is over. As well as thanking all of you for being here today, I'd like, on the family's behalf, to say a special thank you to the carers from HRM Home Care and the nursing staff at Western Moffat Hospital for all the care and attention that they have shown to Emily. In Emily's memory today, there's a collection basket at the back of the service room, which gives you an opportunity, if you're able, to make a contribution to St Andrew's Hospice. There will also be a box at the crematorium if you don't manage to get the opportunity here. So please, if you can, donate something towards the work of the hospice. Our final piece of music here today will be our first piece of music when we get to the crematorium. At the crematorium, we'll hear it sung by John Denver, but here for now, we're going to take Emily out to the sound of James Galway and Annie's song.